Kunal. Sorry. So I'm Toastmaster Kunal, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I'm an IT professional. My hobbies includes playing cricket, traveling, and listening music. The mission of Toastmaster Club of Pune Northwest provides a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, which results in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Explain the basic rules of this meeting. Please turn off your cell phone or on silent mode if you're not using it to join the call. Please mute your microphone unless instructed by TMOD. Please keep your video on unless you have the issue with bandwidth. Microphone and video options are available in the bottom left corner of Zoom window. Don't share your screen unless it is instructed by TMOD. Kindly refrain from movements that distract the speaker. In case you need to move, please turn off your view in advance. You can use emojis like thumbs up and claps to react to the meeting in online mode. Example, transfer of control in word of the day and of the day. Emojis and thumbs up are available in the below panel of Zoom. For role players and especially speakers, it is advised to pin that window so that see timer throughout the meeting. When speaking, the call should be greeting in the following manner. Good Mr. President, always maintain a broad smile throughout the meeting. Now, let us have the guest introduction. I welcome all the guests who have joined here. Guests, please introduce yourself in the order of your name and profession. Can we have from offline mode and then on online mode?
So, hi all.
Mayur, do we have any in offline mode?
Hello. Hi. Hi all. I'm Vikas, and I'm working as a software developer in a Cura software. And I have been completed my all education in Pune, and I come to know about Toastmasters when I googled about some courses. So I'm joining today as a guest. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other guest, Mayur?
Yeah. Yeah. So good morning, everyone. My name is Nitin, and I have recently, in fact, today is my first session as a Toastmaster member. Last week, I joined as a guest. So looking forward to interact with everyone, each one of you, and definitely it will be a good learning session for everyone. Yeah. Looking forward to follow. Thank you.
Are there any guests in the online mode?
I see a couple of them.
Deep and Akash, if you could please introduce yourselves.
Hi there, Deep here. This is my second online meeting. I already been introduced with the club, so I'm looking forward to join this meeting as a guest again. Thank you.
Thanks, Deep. Can you introduce?
Hello, sir. My name is Chauhan, and I'm Uttar Pradesh. And currently, I live in and I'm working in a Srinagar India Private Limited. And thank you.
Thanks, Akash. We welcome all the guests today and we'll make sure that you enjoy today's meeting.
Kunal, we have one more guest. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Varinder, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, good evening all, and I'm Varinder Arora. Glad to meet you, all of you. I'm representing Novo Leaders. I'm a trainer at Novo Leaders and a CEO. We are into, school programs which we, develop kids in the different quotients like financial literacy, and we also provide a program wherein which is including the parents and the kids together, because we believe in holistic family learning. So glad to meet you, all of you. I'm Varinder Arora from Pune, representing Novo Leaders. Thank you.
Thanks, Varinder. Really nice to listen about all this. So again, we welcome all the guests today and we'll make sure that you enjoy today's meeting. Also request all the guests to stay with us till the end of meeting. Now let me introduce you all the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day is someone who will be your host. Request you to pay attention to her to ensure you understand the meeting format. You can also refer the agenda handed over to you in case of any confusion. Today's Toastmaster of the day is a person who is engineering student. Her hobbies includes running, robotics, and dancing. Let us need 3.
Hello. Can someone in the online mode please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Hello,
Yes, you're
hello.
audible and visible.
Can someone in the online mode please confirm
Yes.
whether I'm audible or not?
Yes, Nimisha, you are audible.
Audible and visible clearly.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to another exciting, fun and learning event to the 401st chapter meeting of the Toastmasters Club of Pune Northwest. And I am TM Nimisha, your host for today's meeting. Now, I want all of you to imagine a story for a minute. Let's just say that you have to travel from Pune to Kanpur, okay? Different state, different city. And let's say that you have to travel by road. So far, everyone's following me, right? Okay, you have to travel by road to Kanpur, but there is a slight twist in the story. And the twist is that you don't have any access to any of the maps. Yes, you heard me right. You do not have access to Google Maps. And the most important thing is that you are not even allowed to ask any local villagers to guide you. And trust me why I say this is very important, because even Google Maps cannot guide you to the small little gullies of the Indian roads, and that's a fact. Okay, so that's the story. You have to travel from Pune to Kanpur without the help of any maps and without the help of any local guide. So now my question is, how long do you think it will take you to travel from Pune to Kanpur in this manner? Ages, okay. Anyone else?
24 hours.
Might be a few months. And any other guesses?
3 days.
Okay. So it will definitely take you ages, lifetime, or maybe you're never going to travel like this in this manner. If you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might reach there in just a week. If you're a little less lucky, you might reach there in a few months. But if you're very unlucky, you might never reach there. And this is what exactly most people do. They always depend on luck. They don't decide, they don't plan. And so why do you think Toastmaster Mayur said that it will take ages? Why do you think it will take ages to reach that particular location? Why do you think is the main reason? Exactly. Like Toastmaster Chandrasekhar said, there's no direction. We have no idea where we are heading into. And that's exactly what goals are all about. Goals provide us with direction. Where do we have to head? Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, said that humans are teleological animals, meaning they're goal-seeking animals. We all live with a purpose. Humans in general are happy when they achieve their goals, and they're unhappy or dissatisfied when they do not. And let me tell you this, if we keep our goals in mind, and if we contemplate our decisions based on our goals, and also if we take our decisions based on our values, keeping our values and our goals in mind, then we'll always have the upper hand in every possible situation. And let me explain you how the meeting is going to be conducted, just in brief. Today we are going to have 3 different sessions. The first session is about the VP education. The second session will be prepared speeches, wherein Toastmasters and the speakers will come up on stage and present their respective speeches that they have prepared. And then we have a short break. And after the break, we'll have a third session, which is the evaluation session, where the evaluators will giving their feedback for the general meeting and for the speakers as well. Moving on, let me please welcome our president, Toastmaster Abhishek, who is an engineer and he loves coding. So over to you, Toastmaster Abhishek, to address the meeting.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this warm welcome. Before moving ahead, we have some of our guests in online meeting, I guess. Would you like to introduce yourself? Guest Sudha, would you like to introduce yourself? Okay. I think she is not available, but we will definitely have a discussion with her, talk to her later. So I welcome everyone to today's meeting. The topic for today is really amazing, goal. Now, the goal is something that we set for the long term, and it helps us guide to our destination. It helps us to think our ideal future and motivates us to turn that vision into future, into reality. It focuses on acquisition of knowledge, helps to organize time and our resources that can make, so that we can make most out of it. Now, here in this meeting, we might discuss about different strategy of setting our goal and moving in that direction. But I am to specifically talk about 2 things today. First, about smart goal, and second, how we can set our goal for the Toastmasters itself. SMART goal. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Whenever we are setting a goal, it should be specific. When we say that we'll wake up at certain time, or if we need to do some achievement, then without a specific, we cannot complete it. When we are specific, then our mind knows what we need to do and what action we need to take. Vague definition or vague goal doesn't make much sense. Measurable. It should be measurable. If you want to improve in our Toastmasters, or if you want to give more speeches, then we can have a measurement. For example, if we want to know how much improvement we have done in the Toastmasters, we can have some criteria about how much our audience is engaged in our meeting. What are the feedback that we are getting from the evaluator, or if we are winning some kind of awards. Now, this is not the goal, but this will give us a good feedback on how much we have improved and how much we need to go forward. Relevant. When we say relevant, it should help us in our long term, whether it is in our current position, whether our skill is good, the skill that we are developing is going to help in our real life. We should make that plan. Now, my goal might be different from every one of us in there. So we have to make plan based on what our life is. And next is timely. We need to make timely decision at what time we need to achieve a certain goal. That should be set in our mind. And next is achievable. If we set higher goal, then it might be difficult to achieve that. Now let us think about how we can set that goal for our Toastmasters meeting. So most of the time we get the response of how we need to grow in the Toastmasters. I think it depends a lot on you, what you want to achieve, how you want your life to be. In Toastmasters, we get an opportunity to work on different aspects, whether it is hosting a meeting, leading a team, or whether it is to just improve our listening or public speaking ability or analytical skills. We need to make that decision, and based on that, we can work on different skills. Other than that, if you are not that much comfortable on the protocol of Toastmasters, then there is a wonderful program that is mentorship in Toastmasters. You can always connect to your mentors, and your mentor will guide you to set a long-term goal and how you can move ahead. Most of the time, those mentors are experienced Toastmasters. Even you can talk to other experienced Toastmasters and executive committee if you want to improve. Other than that, as a guiding star, Toastmasters has set some award for you. For example, Distinguished Toastmaster Award, Toastmaster of the Year, Outstanding Toastmasters. There are a lot of criteria for this, and there are ways to achieve that. This will set higher goal for you, and it will motivate you to move forward without any other emotions coming in your way. Other than that, there are other awards as well, like Triple Crown Award, where you will if you complete 3 levels, and if you renew for October till October, then you will get Triple Crown Award. Or Pathway Star, if you complete 5 level, then you will get Pathway Star Award. So I'm not saying that this award is our goal, but it can act. Now, if we want to improve on those areas, I think there are 2 more things that you can work on so that we'll be always on the track. First is to show up. Show up in the meeting. If we have the Triple Crown or Pathway Star Award, show up there and always try to get a speech in the meeting or in other clubs as well. If you want to improve how to host a meeting, then you can try table topic session or TMOD session. If no roles are available, you can try giving to table topic speeches, or even you can analyze other speeches as well. You can listen, analyze them, and see how the evaluator are evaluating them. It will help us. First is to show up. Second is give your best. I can remember Toastmaster Chandrasekhar when 1 year back, he was one of the great timer. So every time he comes the stage, he will try to do his best as a timer role. So second is to give our best. So I think the simple way, set your goals and always move in that direction. But in today's meeting, we have one of our special member of our Toastmaster. She is going to help us with our evaluation. Soon our contest is coming, and we will have contest on 18th of this month. So to help us in improving how we can give better evaluation and improve our skill in the next contest, TM Beena. She is for over 10 years, and she is a member of and other students to improve their performance. She teaches business communication with the Bishop of Beena.
Hello, good morning. Should I take over?
Yes, Distinguished Beena.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all the members and guests of Toastmasters Club of Pune Northwest. I'm so happy to be here. It's like coming back home. I've been a part of your club for a long time. And today we are here to talk about how to win at the evaluation contest. As your president just said, the contest is around the corner on the 18th, and for which we need a little bit of a session on how to put your best foot forward and win the evaluation contest. Now, remember, for this, you have a few things to remember, and one of them is to download the ballot, judges' ballot for the evaluation contest. It's called 1179 contest ballot for evaluation. All of you, maybe now, maybe a little later, go to your laptops and download that form and take a printable copy and keep it with you. That is your Bible for evaluation. Because in that, the division of marks is given, and that is what the judges look at. And when they look at what you speak and they mark you, those are the marks which count. And if you get the highest or even the second highest, this time the club is sending 2 people over up to the area. So first and second in evaluation goes up to the area. So if you stand first or if you stand second, you have every chance of getting into the area contest, and there also if you stand first and second, you go into the division. So remember, you have to do your best to win the evaluation contest. Now, the parameters for the evaluation contest differ ever so slightly from the pathways evaluation sheet. In the evaluation sheet of pathways, we have you excelled at, you can challenge yourself, or you can work on. These are the 3 points that the evaluator has to fill while he gives this evaluation. Okay, but as a judge, you have 4 criteria, and the 100 marks are divided in this manner. I've got the form, so I'm going to read it out to you. The first criteria is analytical. The judges look at how you analyze your 2 to 3 minute speech. Now, you know the format. There is a test speaker who will give a 5 to 7 minute speech. You are all ears. You have the evaluation sheet given to you by the contest master, official sheet, on which you're taking down notes while the speaker is speaking and during the 5 minutes that he gives you, where you make your own notes. Now, how do you make the notes? This is what I do. I listen to the speaker, and during those 5 to 7 minutes when he's talking, I take down notes furiously, points. What did he say? Then what did he say next? And then how did he say it? Etc. etc. The whole thing I transcribe and write down on one sheet of paper as he is speaking. So I have the whole speech ready on paper, written down. Then I turn the sheet over and divide it into 2 columns, the good and not so good. Then I look back or even remember what he has spoken and write down the good points on the left-hand side and write down the not so good points on the right-hand side. So now I've got the transcribed form of the speech, and on the other page, I have got the good and not so good parts of the speech, which I thought. Remember one thing, this is what you think. You are not a representative of your club or your group or your audience or nothing. I think, dear test speaker, you spoke well. I think you have done a great job. I think it is only you. You are responsible for your own 2 to 3 minutes of speech in the evaluation contest. Now, remember another thing. There are 2, 3 things which you must do, which is one, I said, take down the, download the form 1179 and keep it at your bedside every day till the 18th of September. So you look at what the divisions are. There is one thing you should not do. And that one thing is, when you give your evaluation, do not paraphrase the speech. Do not come here in those 2 to 3 minutes and say, my dear test speaker, you spoke this. You spoke about how hurt you were when your mother shouted at you. Or you spoke about how your father always used to shout at you as a child. So that when you grew up, even your teacher shouted. And you also said that your son. And you also said, Arre, this is paraphrase. You are not supposed to paraphrase in an evaluation contest. You have to, therefore, look at the division in the thing. One second, I just forgot to time myself. One second. Okay, you are supposed to write it as per the form. So do not paraphrase. This has to be kept in your head. Do not paraphrase. So now 40 marks for how you analyze your speech. This is how you analyze your speech. Opening. How do you open your evaluation speech? 2 to 3 minutes evaluation is a small mini speech which you have to make. So the rules apply are the same. The opening should be brilliant. The body should have 1 to 2 points, and then the conclusion should be there. That is how the judges mark you. How will you open? I feel if you look at the test speaker's speech and have listened to it carefully, you can take 1 or 2 lines from his speech and use them as your opening line. Okay, suppose the test speaker is talking about a mosquito, which he got fed up of, and when he went to sleep, it used to come and bite all the time. And one day he put good night and all. There have been speeches like that, and the good night also didn't help. So he took an electronic bat. Please put your mics off, folks. Please put your mics off. So he took the bat and he hit the bat, etc., etc. Was all this was his speech. Now, I as an evaluator will say, dear test speaker Ajit, or whatever his name is, you have apparently very sweet blood. And they say, I'm sure it is O positive, because they say people with O positive blood attract mosquitoes. And I'm sure if you go and test your blood, you'll find it is O positive, because you attract all the mosquitoes in your area. So this is like a springboard from his speech you're using and starting your own speech. So there is an immediate connect with the audience as well as with the test speaker. Then you say what you liked about the speech. Now, another thing you must remember is do not use words like amazing. I know all Toastmasters love to use the word amazing. Oh, your speech was wonderful. It was amazing. Kudos to you. These 3 words should be banned from your dictionary, because the judges are fed up of listening to amazing, kudos, and wonderful. Okay, so avoid that. Now think of other synonyms. There are 40 other synonyms to the word amazing. So please use those. I liked your speech. It had a lovely beginning. It had a very good ending. All these words can be used instead of amazing. Okay, now what do? Analyze our speech. I said, how clear and logical. What is given for the judges' guidelines? Effectiveness of the evaluation. It should be carefully analyzing the strengths and weaknesses. Comments should be clear and logical. Identify specific strength and weakness. This 40 marks you'll get throughout the speech. If you're going to give a sandwich approach throughout the speech, see that your analysis is clear, logical. It has detailed all the strengths of the speech. What are the strengths? So your left-hand side column, right-hand side column comes in handy. Left-hand side column, you've written the good points. Please say those good points. Just say those good points. I like the way your dialogues started when you and your son were interacting. For instance, you said, my dear fellow, are you listening to me? I loved the way you interacted with your son. So this is a strength, because the dialogue delivery helped to take your speech to another level. I also liked the way you ended, because you brought the title back into the... Someone's mic is on. It's very disturbing, please. So you brought the title back into the speech, and that's how you close the loop. So I like that. So these are the 2 good points you like. Now come to the recommendations. Recommendations has 30 points. And what do they say about recommendations? It's all there in the form. Points out the strengths and weaknesses, and also offers specific recommendations for movement, for improvement. Remember, you can't just say, oh, what you did was not very good. You shouldn't have lowered your voice. Then what should I have done? Please, the speaker is asking very genuinely, okay, you didn't like the way I lowered my voice. Then how should I have said? So you have to give the answer to that. You can't just say this was not good. I recommend that you should not do it. Then what should I do? Okay, this is what you should. Don't just narrate the story in a dull fashion. Then what should I do? Add dialogues. How? Okay, this way, especially when the father and son are talking, change over to the father's tone to be a little stern. Hey there, little fellow, come here. And when the son is asking a question, Daddy, can I go out to play? If you show a variation in voices between father and son, the story or the speech will be more delightful. Okay, this is what you have to give the answer to. You can't just say, this is not good, this is not. You have to give a substitute. So recommendations for improvement should be specific and they should be positive. Practical, helpful, positive. Okay, practical, helpful, positive. You can't make the fellow jump on a stage or in a virtual this thing. So they have to be practical. You can't make him jump unnecessarily when it's impossible. So it has to be practical. Now that is 30 marks, your recommendation. So you can give 2 to 3 recommendations. You'll get 20, 25 marks if you give proper recommendations and substitute for that which you didn't like. Now technique, this is very important. It has 15 points and it gives you a make or break situation. You have to remember, without any exception, fall in love with your speaker. Okay. Now you might think he didn't speak too well. You've got a whole list of recommendations instead of good points. Be that as it may, choose only 2 recommendations and throw the rest into the waste paper basket. Okay, and fall in love with your speaker. You might think there's nothing to tell about the speaker. Then please praise the way he has come forth to speak in front of a strange audience and camera for the first time or after a long time. And the courage to speak itself is commendable. So please praise that. Please praise also the points that he has made. I'm sure if you go deep into the speech, you will find some point or the other which he has made, which has affected you. So say that it really touched my heart when you talked about the relationship between a mother and son, or whatever it is that he's talked about. So talk about that. Those are the 2 good points you have mentioned. And then give recommendations 2 again. Don't give 15 recommendations. Give just 2. And help him along the way. He is new. He's trying hard. Help him along the way. With your encouragement only, he will go forward. In Toastmasters pathways, in Toastmasters CC, that's compete in communication, in Toastmasters evaluation contest, everything is geared to encouraging the Toastmaster on his onward journey to speak and not discouraging him and tell him, get out. You haven't spoken well at all. If your body language talks like that, then that's bad because it reflects on the speaker. And remember, if it's hybrid or if it's only online, the speaker and the evaluator, the test speaker and the evaluator are both pinned and spotlighted. And the judges are watching both. Now, if you say something and the speaker's face falls and he droops, and he says, oh no, here it comes, here's the blow, oh my God, she's going to hit me. The judges also know that you've not done a very good job at evaluation. You have discouraged him. For that, remember the compound words that you use. Don't use but, however. Throw those also out of your dictionary. Instead say and. You were very good. And if you had used this word, you would have been even better. Which word is that? Suppose whatever, this line or this statement or whatever. And. However, but are negative connotations, which we'd rather avoid. Because whenever you use the word but or however, the speaker saying, oh, here it comes, the blow. So don't do it. Don't use but, don't use however. We have a natural tendency. You are very good, but if you had done it this way, it would have been much better. Why? Just practice a little and say you were very good and it would have been much better if you had done it this way. And just the simple word and encourages the speaker to at least sit up and listen. Encourages the test speaker. So there you are. So That is the 85 marks that I have given you. Someone please tell me when the time is up. I can't seem to see anything. I can see people, and then you can just interrupt and say how many minutes are left if there are 5 minutes left. So now 85 points are over. As we said, analytical 40, recommendation 30, and technique 15. Now the last 15 points are for summation. It is very important to summarize your speech, because in that you give a succinct way of what you have just said. So much for 2 minutes. In the last half a minute, or let's say 15-20 seconds, summarize what you have said. Now, when I say summarize, don't add in 3 points of your own which you had forgotten to say it earlier. Okay, summarize means say what you already said. That is important because the judges are watching. And when they hear your summary, they will realize that, oh my God, this person is adding 2-3 more of his own points. He forgot in the beginning. No. We will not give points for summary then. They will cut your marks. But if you summarize exactly what you have said in commendation and recommendation, then he will say, correct. In short, he has said what he has already said earlier. Very, very nicely done, concisely done. See, logical, clear, concise, all these are qualities which you must keep within you and display when you talk about evaluation. And remember, it is a 2.5 minute speech, so it has to be seamless with transitions. Okay, don't say, okay, these are your commendations. Having said that, here are the recommendations. Having said that, here is the summary. That is breaking it up into brackets. It's hardly seamless in terms of transition. There should be like a dance movement, seamless from one to the other, like that. So the transition should be smooth. So make your speech 2.5 minutes as your own speech, own it, and talk about all those things and summarize exactly what you have said. So 1.5, say 2 to 3 minutes. So 1.5 minutes for the 40 marks, analytical, half a minute for recommendations and in a nice kind of way. So that's 2 minutes, and 2.5 minutes, the other half a minute for summary. So 2.5 minutes are done, and 3 minutes anyway, here and there you can use. So when it turns yellow, try to wrap up. Look at the time. When it turns yellow, try to wrap up. Don't, some people see the red and they say, oh my God, in their mind, they say, oh my God, here's the red. All in all, it was a wonderful speech. Thank you, contestant. They try and wrap it up in the last 15 seconds, but they have lost 15 marks because that was no summary at all. You're just rambling and rambling and rambling. So in your head, keep 3 straight lines: analytical, recommendation in a positive way, that's all part of recommendation, and summary. These 3 things, if you seamlessly talk, then you can surely succeed. Okay. And remember, if it's a hybrid, like now, today we have a hybrid session, right? So if it's hybrid, and if the contestant is online, he has to look only at the camera and the light next to the camera or the camera, so that everyone thinks that he's looking at them. Don't look at the gallery. Don't put your mode into a gallery and then look at the gallery people and, you're saying, and so, Varinder, and so Bedekar, and so Akash. What I'm trying to tell you is not like that. Don't. That means you're looking down. Only look at the camera. Make love to that little eye in the camera and make faces. Don't make faces. Come forward, come back, pause, and then talk. All this hijinks you have to do with the camera. Now, suppose the camera is on as well as you're in an offline meeting. Like yesterday, I had attended TMCP and they had both online, offline. And I was in an offline meeting talking to the people around me, sitting around me, and also talking to the camera. So if that is the case, then that is also becoming like a tightrope walk, because not only do you look at the people around you, you have to also look at the camera. And then again, look at the people around you. And then, so that is a dicey thing. You have to manage that. Plus, remember what you have to speak, not be nervous, and deliver it in 2.5 minutes along with the summary. Okay, here we are at green. Thank you very much, Northwest, TMCP Northwest stage. I've got the yellow and the red cup.
I don't have any question, but I'll like to say thank you very much for this insightful presentation. It really helped.
Okay. Anyone else wants to ask anything? Any doubts? How to go about it? So the mode of the contest everyone knows, and even if you don't know, your contest chair will tell you. It's just how you evaluate a test speaker. Yes. Yes, Amol.
Ma'am, in case the speech was flawless and you don't have any recommendations, if you have been floored by the speech, then what kind of recommendations can you give?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think a wise contest chair or a wise chief judge will choose a test speaker who is not flawless. First of all, should choose a test who is not flawless. Many people want to, yeah, I have to speak as a test speaker and all. Don't enter who's an average speaker for whom there is a scope to improve as well as a scope to praise. That is the onus of the contest chair and or the chief judge. Secondly, in spite of that, if the person is flawless, there is no flawless speaker. There is no flawless speaker. There are areas where they haven't had eye contact or they've moved around too much, which you don't like. I mean, others might think they're flawless. You surely can find, or go deep into the content of the speech and say the message has not come to me very clearly. What is the call of action? You have said so many nice things about your speech, about yourself. But for me, what was the call of action? I didn't find anything particularly inspiring. So if you had put it clearly, then I would have taken away from the table something of value. For me, you were excellent in your delivery, but the content I found, something like that you can say. There are many things you can say. You can give one recommendation. You can praise him to skies, but recommendation should be given. And this could, it's what you didn't like. So you might as well say it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yellow. Someone's hand went up just now. I don't know. Yes, Abhishek.
Yes, DTM Beena. So I have a question. Let's suppose we have some of the recommendation for a target speaker, and some of them might be for the body language, some might be content or some different section. How should we prioritize which section we should give recommendation on?
No, more than which section, I feel you should restrict your recommendation to 2 to 3 because there are 30 marks. So if you give 3 solid recommendations, one of them has to be on content. You can't give everything on, you sat and gave a speech. I wish you had stood up and all, that is no recommendation. I have sat and given speeches right up to the district level. Nothing is wrong in sitting and giving. So, but eye contact, gestures, and body language come under the delivery. So focus one on delivery, one on content. Don't go too much on delivery only. Then it doesn't, it's lopsided. So balance it with content and balance it with delivery. It's red, folks, it's red. I don't want to take your time. Thank you very much for having me, for accommodating me at this time, because now I have another meeting to attend. I'm so glad to be with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Beena, for the education session. This was very insightful, and it will definitely help all of us to achieve great in our next evaluation contest that will be on the 18th of this month. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Beena, for being with us here today. I would like to request our VP Education, Toastmaster Santanu, to share his screen and
Yes, just a moment. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Beena. Give a big round of applause for her.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you,
I
DTM
enjoyed
Beena. That was really insightful.
I will take your leave now because I have to attend another meeting. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day.
First of all, I'd like to thank distinguished Toastmaster Beena for her words of wisdom, and thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek, for addressing the meeting. So now we are going to begin with our second session, which is the prepared speeches. Generally in Toastmasters, we have the speakers, and then we have the evaluators who gives the feedback to the speakers. So like the individual evaluators, we also have a general evaluator who looks around for the general proceedings of the meeting. And to act as the general evaluator for today's meeting, we have Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, who is an engineer by profession. He rejoices teaching and is a magician by passion. So let us welcome Toastmaster Chandrasekhar.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. So without further ado, let us start with the general meeting. So in order to conduct this meeting successfully, I need a tag team, which stands for timer, R counter, and grammarian. So to act as a timer, we have Toastmaster Nirjara, who has already started working on her timing part. So let us welcome Toastmaster Nirjara, who will explain her role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar. Good morning, everyone. So today I would be the timer of the day. So for the speakers, we have 5 minutes of timing. So when 5 minutes arrive, I will show the green card. And when it is 6 minutes, I will show a yellow card. And at 7 minutes, it will be red. And you will get 30 minutes of grace or 30 seconds of grace time to wind up your speeches. And for evaluators, we have 2 minutes of speeches and around 2 to 3 minutes of speeches. So at 2 minutes, I will show the green card. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, it will be yellow. And at 3 minutes, it will be red. And 30 seconds of grace time would be given. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nirjara, for explaining us the timing guideline. Now to act as an R counter, we have Toastmaster Pallavi. So I would request her to come up on the virtual stage and explain her role. Over to you, Toastmaster Pallavi.
Am I audible?
Yes, Toastmaster Pallavi, you are.
Sorry, I cannot be visible as my camera is not functioning well. So let's start. Good morning, Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Myself, Pallavi, glad and excited to be a counter of this meeting. My job for today is that I'll be noticing and recording all the filler words that is going to be used by our speakers today. And these words can be like so, okay, that, and all the long pauses which gives bad impact in front of the listener. So I would suggest not to use these words and avoid these words. And yes, I'm going to present the report at the end of the meeting after listening to all the speakers. So yeah, all the best. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pallavi. So if you notice that Toastmaster Pallavi will be marking you on the R count report, and this is the sheet that you don't want to get higher marks on. So please try to reduce your filler words and filler sounds. Now, language is an integral part of public speaking, and to act as a language evaluator, we have Toastmaster Reshma. So let us welcome her now her virtual stage and introduce about her role. Over to you, Toastmaster Reshma.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest. So today I'm Reshma, the grammarian uh, of the today's meeting, and I'm going to introduce you the word of the day and the phrase of the day today, and also request to use this word of the day and phrase of the day during your speech and throughout the meetings. So today's word of the day is contemplate, which means think deeply and at length, or look thoughtfully at long time. He contemplate his image in the mirror. And the second example is he contemplated the meaning of the poem for a long time. You are too young to be contemplating retirement. Also, contemplate is a verb form and can be used as a noun. So the noun form is contemplation. And for example, they sat quiet in a contemplation. Synonym for contemplate is consider, think about, or think of. Yeah. And the antonyms are forget, ignore, neglect, or reject. Then phase of the day, to have the or more powerful position. For example, Patrick has the upper hand in receiving the promotion as he has been with the company for over 10 years. The next example is the upper hand is given to those who take it. With come back with my reports. Who has the name of the speaker who has used word of the day and phrase of the day during their speech and the meetings. Also, I will note down of the poor usage of the language and the good usage of the language. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Reshma, for explaining your role and giving us the word of the day and the phrase of the day. Now that we know the word of the day and the phrase of the day, we have the upper hand to use it. Now, with that quote, I would like to give control back to our energetic Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nimisha.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with our prepared speeches. Our first speaker will be presenting his speech of level 1 from the presentation mastery pathway. Now, every speech is called a project because it has a specific goal and it has a certain limit of time that the speaker must finish in. The evaluator for our first speech is Toastmaster Kunal. So may I please request Toastmaster Kunal to share the objectives of the speech.
Hi, I'm evaluator for the speaker Aneesh Dotrikar. He is ex-auditor and a student by profession. He is going to deliver level 1 and his speech title is Think Before You Buy. His pathway is presentation mastery. Over to you, Aneesh, and all the best. Thank you.
Can people from the online mode confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, Toastmaster Anish, you're audible
Yes.
and visible.
Yes. Okay. Okay, perfect. Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. A few days back, I was in a meeting with some of my colleagues from US. The topic of our meeting was what is the best breakfast? So everyone was sharing their ideas. Someone said that they like bacon with OJ. The other one said they like pancakes with OJ. Someone said they like scrambled eggs with OJ. The others said they like cheeseburger with OJ. I was shocked. Cheeseburger for breakfast, but that's how it is. But one thing common in all of them was OJ. I was curious, what is this OJ everyone is talking about? So I asked my colleague, what is OJ? So my colleague said that OJ is short for orange juice. And I was like, okay, fine. Why orange juice? Why do you guys like oranges so much? They're like, come on, man, it's so healthy. That's why we love it. So I was like, okay, we come from a culture wherein we value nutrition as much, but why don't we consider orange juice as healthy as these people do? So I was contemplating, what is it about orange juice that these people find very interesting, very nutritious, and which we don't? So I did some research. After research, I realized that orange juice, one glass of orange juice can provide you up to, say, 20 grams of sugar, and it can provide you around 115, or let's say more than 100% of our daily requirement of vitamin C. So it's clear, orange juice, when we talk about nutrition, there's no correlation. Orange juice, we can just say, is just a source for vitamin C, and just getting vitamin C is not nutritious. So my myth, I cleared that myth. My myth was clear that, okay, orange juice is not healthy, but still the question stood, why do Americans consider this as healthy? So I did some more research, and that landed me into 1900s. In 1900s in California, imagine this, there are huge orchards of orange trees, and farmers over there, they're chopping down their orange trees. Why, you would ask? The answer is overabundance of oranges. The farmers over there, they were tired with so much produce of oranges. They had so many oranges than they can actually sell. So they decided to chop them off. Is it right to chop trees just because you have more of something? What do you guys think? Probably no. Same thing was thought by another visionary leader over there. That person was Albert Lasker. He was a famous advertiser and marketer during that time. He came to know about this. He went to those people and he asked them, why are you guys chopping this? I have a better idea. So he asked them, let's come together, form a brand. And that's how the brand called Sunkist was formed. For us, because we are in India, we don't know how important or big the brand Sunkist is. But Sunkist is a huge brand in United States. So they formed this brand, and the problem was still there. How do we tackle the problem of abundance? So this fellow, Albert Lasker, he came up with an innovative solution. He said that, what if we make juice? One glass of juice can use up to 3 to 4 oranges. So the path was clear. They decided to market, they decided to advertise orange juice. Every day, for 5 days in a week, they started running ads on radio. Drink orange juice is healthy. Drink orange juice is nutritious. And that brainwashing worked. It worked really, really well. Americans, they were getting hooked to orange juice. And Sunkist, the brand which was facing issue of overabundance of oranges, started facing shortages. Well, the strategy really, really worked. Then came World War. During World War, many of the soldiers, they were having issues with scabies. Scabies is a disease which is caused due to lack of vitamin C deficiency. So they asked all the people around, please design something which we can transport all over the world. Orange juice had its limitations because orange juice can, if it's fresh, it's good. But if it's not fresh, if it's traveled for more than 24 hours, it starts losing its taste, it starts losing its freshness. So they had to do something. The scientists came up with a solution. Let's concentrate that orange juice. Let's dehydrate it and form an orange juice concentrate. They formed that concentrate and then they started selling that. Now, one problem, it's a very good solution, but there's one problem with that. The problem is that when you concentrate something, it loses its nutrition, it loses its actual value it's supposed to give. Orange juice people liked in US because it was sweet. But now because the juice is no longer sweet, they had to add artificial sugars to it. Which brings us to our next question. Are packed orange juices really healthy? Well, the answer is no. Packed orange juice can contain up to 32 grams of sugar. To put things in context, every human or an individual requires at the most 30 grams of sugar. Anything beyond that is not recommended. But just one glass of orange juice gives us that 30 grams of sugar. So my question to you is it healthy? Probably it's not. Now let's come to India. We have covered US. What about India? Have you guys heard about Bonvita, Horlicks, or have you tried it? Or do any of your kids drink it? Does it happen? Yes, we all love it. Even I am guilty with that. When I research into Bonvita, let's take Bonvita. So I figured out that one serving of Bonvita is equivalent to 3 spoons of sugar. That is around 20 grams. So Bonvita, a malt-based drink, is it really healthy as it is advertised? तन की शक्ति, मन की शक्ति, दूध की शक्ति बढ़ाए. क्या सच में दूध की शक्ति बढ़ रही है? Is the milk power really getting enhanced? Well, the answer is no. All these marketing companies are doing is they are trying to push their agenda and they are trying to get money from us. We are paying money and we are getting products which are not really healthy for us, which are not really good for us. And on top of that, we are paying money for that. This is something we actually have to contemplate about. Advertisers have been on top of our mind when making decisions about what to buy and what not to buy. We have to think before we buy. I'll leave you all with one thought. The food you eat can be a medicine or a poison. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aneesh, for that eye-opening speech. I think it made us all realize that we should contemplate before we buy our food supplies. Next, our second speaker, we have Toastmaster Tulsi, who is banker by a profession, and she's very health conscious, so she practices yoga, as well as she's into reading and sketching into books. For Toastmaster Tulsi, we have Evaluator Toastmaster Nilesh. So may I please request Toastmaster Nilesh to read out the objectives of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Well, our next speaker is Toastmaster Tulsi. By profession, she's a banker. Pathway Dynamic Leadership. She's going to pursue level 1 project, writing speech with purpose. Speech length is 5 minutes to 7 minutes. Timer, please note the timing. After 5 minutes, green card will be shown. After 6 minutes, yellow card will be shown. And after 7 minutes, red card will be shown. And 30 seconds of grace period will be given. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. All the best.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, Toastmaster Tulsi. You're
Yeah,
audible.
Thank you, TMOD. Good morning, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. Today, I am going to speak about something which I think both interesting and informative. I was contemplating about my topic when I found it in the notebook of my to-do list, which is about a stock market phenomenon called IPO. I have been starting investing in IPO for a couple of years and have heard from friends and family that IPO is a great investment opportunity. And there was a strong market buzz too about IPOs in 2021. All of that got me curious and I started to explore more about this topic, which I am going to share with you all today. As this whole financial market thing is like a giant iceberg, I could only scratch the surface of it in the given time and present my understanding before you. I hope you all will find it informative and interesting. I have a question. So have you heard about, IPO, or have you ever invested in IPO? Yeah, there are lots of people who start their trading journey through IPO.
So let's jump right into the details. IPO stands for initial public offerings. Is a process when a privately held company decides to go to public for the first time by offering their shares in the market to the general public. IPO also provides companies with an ability to grow and expand further. IPO also provides companies a better opportunity to offer their shares and raise the capital. Let's understand it this way. Suppose you are doing a business and you are in need of fund. What would you do? You will use either the fund which you already have, or you may borrow from your friends or family or relatives, or you may go to the bank or financial institution for a loan. This is same about the companies. When the company wants to expand their business, they need funds and they cannot rely only on private investors. So they turn to bank or financial institutions for loan. But that would also attract them a higher rate of interest. So they turn to stock market. Stock market is a place where buyers and sellers interact, and the shares of public corporations are bought and sold. Companies list themselves on the stock market to meet the financial requirement for their working capital. And the companies offer their shares to general public, and in return public gets a return in the form of dividend, like the interest they are getting on bank deposit or the capital appreciation also. When a company decides to go to the when a company decides to raise the fund through the market, first of all they contracts to the investment bank from a consortium. These investment banks are called merchant banks or underwriters. The underwriters help the company to prepare for IPO, comprising issues such as the money sought to be raised, then the type of securities to be offered, or the number of shares to be put on offer. So IPO, then the company and the underwriters work together to form to draft an application for SEBI. So now what's SEBI? SEBI is Securities and Exchange Board of India. It regulates and protects the work of protect the interest of the investors. SEBI also regulates the stock market and mutual fund functions. After thorough scrutiny, SEBI approves the application for IPO filing. Now the company releases all the details of IPO, like number of shares to be offered, date of listing, price band, etc. So price band is the lower and upper limit of a share price which a company fixes for its issues. IPO allows investors to buy online and offline through Demat account only. Demat account only allows investors to trade shares electronically. After allotment of shares, the shares starts reflecting in investors' Demat account. And the shares which are not allotted, investors get the refund automatically. IPO hikes the awareness about the company as well as better consumer attention to the products they offer. IPO also provides awareness about the company's portfolio to the larger audience. IPO also allows investors to start their trading with a small amount of investment. But investors must have to do their own due diligence before putting their money on them. I think this is all about I have to share with you today about IPO. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tulsi, for the detailed, straightforward, and well-informed speech. Our third speaker for today's meeting is Toastmaster Akshay. The evaluator for this third speaker is Toastmaster Prasenjit, who is an IT software engineer, and he's exciting. He is always excited about exploring new things. So let us welcome Toastmaster Prasenjit to read out the objectives of the speech.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you, TM Modi, President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, my target speaker is going to attempt level 2, the first speech in the dynamic pathway and the title of the speech is The Leadership Style. We all have seen different leadership style, and it would be good to understand from Akshay, TM Akshay, that what he is actually going to present in terms of the leadership style for all of us. So I welcome TM Akshay to the floor to present his speech. Thank you.
So from online mode, can anyone confirm the I am audible and
Yes, you are, Akshay.
okay, thank you. So good morning, Mr. President, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. Today I am going to deliver speech on leadership styles. Leaders are born, not made. Leaders are made, not born. How many of you think that leaders are born, not made, or the leadership skill that we are possessed is by birth? How many of you believe like this? Believe? Yeah, I can see some of the hand. Yeah, so I can see most of the us are optimistic. I can see more hands. So with this, I will tell you means what is exactly leadership skills. What are the skill we need to contemplate to become a good leader. I will also tell you some of the good leader examples so we can understand from that what is exactly leadership skill and what are the skill we need to contemplate to become a good leader. So with this, if I suppose assume I have a read 52 books of cricket, and yes, I know all the rules of cricket, how it is being played, what are the how many players required in cricket. So with this, do you think I can become a good Indian cricket team coach? Do you think that? No. Yeah, because leadership skill need experience. To become a leader, we need experience. Our leaders are made by example. Leaders are made by example. With this, I will tell you what is exactly leadership. I will tell you the definition of leadership. So now I will tell you some of the leaders' name. Then you can tell me. Like what are the qualities of them. Lead them to become a leader, means helpful them to become a leaders. I will tell you when I tell you our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, then what first will come in your mind? The Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What qualities of our Prime Minister help them to become a leader? What exactly you think? Can anyone from online meeting tell me?
Very hardworking.
Okay.
I think he is a good orator.
Yeah, right. It is good orator, hardworking, and he is having a very good communication skill. Because and that is some of the thing that help our Prime Minister, because he is easily able to convey people. He's easily able to connect people, and that is why it is one of the good leader. So when I tell you about Donald Trump, what is exactly come in your mind? What do you think? What qualities help Donald Trump to become a leader?
Is very aggressive.
Yeah, it is very aggressive.
Obnoxious.
Yeah, right. So these are the leadership skills help these leaders. And apart from this, means it is not possible for even any leader to become a good leader without with only skill. Means for example, if you consider like Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Donald Trump, these are all leaders. If you want to become a good leader, then we need to have this all combination of skills. Like we need sometime we need to become aggressive, sometimes we need to become a calm, sometimes we need sometimes we need to have a good communication skill to handle large amount of public. So these are the all combination of skills we need to become a good leader. without we need to have a dynamic leadership skills. Means at according to the circumstances, according to condition, we need to change our leadership skills. Sometime we need to be declarative, sometime we need to be statement sometime we need to be change our leadership skill according to the circumstance of condition. So with this we can understand what is exactly leadership, what are the skill required to become a leadership. And apart from this, I would like to also tell you so since I joined Toastmasters 2 months before, I have learned many things what is exactly leadership, what are the skill we need to become a leadership. And it is not always how many of you are being part of one WhatsApp group, or how many of you are admin of have been admin of any WhatsApp group. Can any tell me yeah, I can okay, yeah, I can see most hand. So from this it's clear that most of the us are leaders. No, right? Because if we are a admin of the particular WhatsApp group, or if we are a vice president of the it is not important to become a admin, and it is not important to become a vice president. Means it is not must to become vice president. If you are incorporating all the leadership skill, means from daily life, then you can also become a good leader. For a leadership, you need to have you need to incorporate our daily life skills to become a good leader. With this, I can I would like to tell you, if you want to become a good leader, you need to incorporate leadership skills and to be upper hand. With this, I would like to Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Move
You
forward.
are not audible, Nimisha.
Yeah, you are not audible.
Before we move forward, let us pause for a minute to give feedback to all of the speakers. Those in the online mode can share their feedback through chats. Can I request the timer to please inform me at the end of 1 minute?
Toastmaster Aneesh took 7 minutes 6 seconds. Toastmaster Tulsi took 5 minutes 10 seconds, and Toastmaster Akshay took 6 minutes 39 seconds. So all these speakers are qualified.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for a break. So we will come back to the meeting after 5 minutes. I request the timer to please inform at the end of 5 minutes. Thank you. We're now moving forward to our next session, which is the evaluation session. So to begin with, we will start with the first speaker, Toastmaster Aneesh, with Toastmaster Nilesh acting as his, with Toastmaster Kunal acting as his evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Kunal.
Thank you, TM. Am I audible? Just checking.
Yes, Toastmaster Kunal.
Okay. So That was an eye-opening session and a speech by Aneesh. Hats off to you. Being a father of a son, it really great, and I feel energized, more motivated that I will try more and more to stop my son and children around me to stop drinking packaged bottles. Now, coming about the content, overall, the opening, body, and closing was fine, and it was really inspiring. So, let me walk through some of the main attributes and talk. You were very clear, size, and all the communication was easy to understand. So clarity was good. Eye contact. You were very well having eye contact with the audience. That is one of the key requirement, or I can say feature one should have in it while giving a speech. Gesture. Overall, your gesture was positive. So I can felt the positive vibe while listening your speech. A specific purpose. So your title and your purpose was to deliver a speech with a specific purpose that really served the way you delivered the speech and the content that you took on, gave on. Comfort level. So you are very much comfortable while giving the speech. That is also one of the basic need while giving the speech. So you are very much comfortable, and I can say that it is one of the key area that you can really pride upon. Interest and purpose. So you really tried to keep the audience interested and by giving the speech. Overall, the speech was good, the content was good, your body language, everything was good. In the end, I can recommend some of the suggestions. You can give the speech with more full strength, the which I felt that can improve a bit. Vocal variety. So vocal variety is one area we can make your speech more appealing. So that is another thing that you can look upon. Last but not the least, in the end, I can say overall your speech was good. And if you take these two recommendations, definitely you will be much better speaker next time. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kunal, for your valuable feedback. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Tulsi, and our evaluator for Toastmaster Tulsi is Toastmaster Nilesh. So over to you, Toastmaster Nilesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Tulsi, all about IPO. I think as your banker, you have chosen the topic in your profession only. Personally, thank you so much topic. My friends, my colleagues calls me every time. No, this IPO is there. Please purchase that. This year I've brought it for this much, and then the price is this much, like that. I really don't have that kind of knowledge, but because of you today, I got to know a few things about IPOs and SAB and share market, dividend. I think it was too technical for me, but it was very important at the same time because everybody some other time get chance to purchase few of the things which are really important for the investment purpose. So thank you so much for that. If I talk about your speech this time, I think it was really good. I am really impressed the way you were speaking. Your knowledge, basically, you have a good knowledge as you are a banker, I guess that is one of the reasons. But overall, you are ready for this entire topic really well. It was, as I said, that it was technical, but still you were very much confident on all the aspects of the topic. So thank you so much for that. Clarity of the topic, I feel that you had a clarity. I think you dig down into the each and every aspects of this topic. Overall, you were trying to be impressive in front of everyone. You were confident standing over here. So that was a good part about the presentation. After that, if I talk about recommendation from my side, I feel that body language is one of the things which we can improve a little bit, because when we are in front of people, like if we do like this, it shows that we are a little nervous. But if we can open the hand, we can speak confidently. That can be effective speech next time. Then stage use, we can use the stage, like we can move here and there. That is one of the recommendations I would like to give you, instead of standing at the same position. So I think you cleared everything to the audience, and you explain it in a really well manner. That is one of the things which I really like about this presentation. But yes, but these 2-3 things, if you take care of next time, I think it can be a wonderful speech. That was it from my side. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nilesh, for your wise suggestions. Moving on to our third speaker, we have our third speaker was Toastmaster Akshay, with Toastmaster Prasenjit acting as his evaluator. Toastmaster Prasenjit, may I please request you to share your feedback?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, TM Akshay, for presenting the leadership style. Everyone has a different leadership style, and first of all, you started your speech with the leadership, with the quote that leaders are made, not born. This is a very important thing, because no one probably born here. Then you also connected with the audiences. You asked them that, okay, you took example of cricket, you took example of politics, and you asked them that, what do you think about the leadership? Which says that when a speaker is talking and is able to connect with the audience, because when you're talking, it's very important to actually correlate with what audiences are thinking, audience is thinking. So it's very important, and you have achieved that. You also took examples saying that if you just read the books, you will not be able to become a good coach or good cricketer. You also talked about the qualities. So all these things actually says that your content was very clear. You actually researched it, and you presented that exactly in the same way you wanted to present. The only thing which I'll say as part of the recommendation, so when you were talking about various political, when you were talking about, can you go on mute? When you are talking about the examples, for example, you talked about Narendra Modi, you talked about Trump, you could have acted that. Let me give you one example. If I have to actually present two leaders, like for example, Narendra Modi and our Prime Minister, previous Prime Minister, our past Prime Minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh, I would have actually acted that and said, when Narendra Modi comes on the stage, he keeps on talking. He keeps on talking about himself, about many things. You might have seen that no one gets space to actually do anything when he is on the stage. But when Manmohan Singh used to be there on the stage, he was very silent. He was just standing at one side, and other used to speak on his behalf. He used to speak, but he was not that vocal. So that is very important thing. A leader has to also be very vocal, and you could have acted that and could have presented that. But nevertheless, your topic was very good, and you presented it so well. I was able to correlate with that. When you close that, when you close your speech, you also said in a summary that you need to be having the upper hand to become a brilliant leader, which is very fantastic. Thank you very much, TM Akshay, for entertaining us with your speech. Over to you, TM Modi. Nimisha.
For your feedback. May I please request the timer now, Toastmaster Nirja, to present her report.
Toastmaster Kunal took exactly 3 minutes. Toastmaster Nilesh took 2 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Prasanjit took 3 minutes 10 seconds. So all the evaluators are qualified.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neerja, for your report. And now we are moving to the most scaring part of this meeting. At least I am scared of this session. We are moving to the general evaluators report, and he will introduce to his team as well. So, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, may I please request you to share your report?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nimisha. So let us begin with the general evaluation session, and I would first like to call upon the R counter. So let us welcome our R counter on the virtual stage. Over to you.
I'm audible.
Yes, Toastmaster Pallavi, you are audible.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to everyone to give our speakers a big round of applause. They really did great job while giving a speak. So can we clap for them? Okay. So, okay. Now I'll present the report. Just a minute, I'll share the screen. Is it visible?
We are able to see not the Excel one, but we can
Okay,
see that you are sharing the screen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
now we are able to.
So Toastmaster Aneesh, his count of filler words were only one. The overuse word, not word, but he took a long pause just one time. So yeah, one mistake from his side. And Toastmaster Tulsi, her count of filler words were 5 plus. She used so quite most of the time. And Toastmaster Akshay, he's also 5 plus, and his overused words were so I would suggest them just to check on this and not to just they can improve from this side. So yeah, from my side that's all. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pallavi, for sharing your counter report. Now, I would like to call upon the stage our grammarian Toastmaster Reshma to present her report. Over to you, Toastmaster Reshma.
Yes, so the users who has used word of the day are Nimisha, Anish, Tulsi, and Akshay. Also, Nilesh has used the phrase of the day. So let's big round of applause for them. And then I will present the poor usage of language. So someone said, I have a read. So instead of that, use I read. Then with this in speech, so with this many times used in the speech. So instead of that, you can use based on. Okay, and the third is large amount of people is used, which is not proper, I think. So a big group of people can be used. So then I will come up with good usage of language. So many good terms and words used like by Beena. So transcribe, it means to make a written copy. Then paraphrase, it means reread or express in different words which are easy to understand. Then apparently is nothing but obviously. Springboard, which is nothing but stepping stone or jumping off. Then delightful, it means charming. Concise means giving lot of information clearly and in a few words. Then rambling, it means roam. Also, Prasanjit and Abhishek used insightful, which is showing an accurate and deep understanding, showing an expression. So, and yeah, Tulsi used like scratch the surface, which means analyze, deep analysis. So let's big round of applause for them. That's all. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Reshma, for giving us the report, which was really crisp and very explanatory. So let me start with my general evaluator report, and let us start with our first role player, Toastmaster Kunal, who played the dual role today as a sergeant at arms and as well as the evaluator. So can we have a big round of applause for him? So I'm not sure, but I felt like we started meeting bit earlier, maybe 1 minute prior. So that part can be worked on. But Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Kunal started meeting on a really great high note. He introduced all the guests as well as, and then he gave the control back to the Toastmaster of the day. And he talked about the mission objective. So he did a really great job and Sergeant at Arms part. So kudos to him. Now, second role player that I would like to talk about is our timer Toastmaster Nijara. Though we saw that the timer introduction then was done later, but she has started working on her role even before the introduction, as she was timing the guest speaker as well as the role player also. She was showing the timing cards in the offline mode at the physical location, and with the help of our Zoom master, we were showing them onto the virtual mode as well. So the connection was really proper over there, and the collaboration between them, both of them, was really nice. So kudos to her on that part, and she timed all the speakers, evaluator as well. So kudos to her. I don't have any recommendation for her. Coming to the third role player, that is Toastmaster Reshma. She acted as a grammarian today, and I really found out that she took a different approach today. Usually what we try to do is first we talk about the good usage and then we go on to the not so good usage of language. But she started with the who used the word of the day and the phrase of the day. Then she talked about what was not so good, and at the end she talked about the good usage of language. So ending at a really good note. So this was really something that I was surprised with, and that's a great sign that we end at positive note whenever we are doing any topic or whenever doing any role play. So it's a great job, Toastmaster Reshma. I have some recommendation, or I would say some challenges for you. So she talked about some good usage of English language, like, just like scratching the surface. So just instead of telling the meaning, what is exactly what that you can tell. For example, when Toastmaster Tulsi said, hold the iceberg, but we are just scratching the surface. So it's a figure of speech. So you could have talked about that great usage of figure of speech that you can challenge upon. But overall, you did a really great job on that part. Now coming to our evaluators, we had 3 evaluators: Toastmaster Kunal, Toastmaster Nilesh, and Toastmaster Prasanjit. All of them did the evaluation on the criteria, that is sandwich approach or commendation, recommendation, and then again commendation. So I have quick some recommendation for first evaluator, that is Toastmaster Kunal. As we today already saw that we had an education session on how do we evaluate, or like what are the things that to look upon. So somehow I felt like that the analytical part of that evaluation was missing. As we could see in the speech given by Toastmaster Aneesh, there were many stories, so he could have highlighted the storytelling aspect of the speech. He could have highlighted the various content of the speech, how it was interactive, and then he could have talked about what was the conclusion part of it. So the opening body and conclusion should have been there in evaluation as well. Evaluation is nothing but a 3-minute speech that you prepare after someone gives a speech. So that you may work upon, but rest all the recommendations that were given were a bit specific. So I don't have any recommendation on that part, but if you can work on giving your evaluation as a speech, that would be really great. Coming to second evaluator, Toastmaster Nilesh, he had a bang-on approach of analyzing the whole speech, what is IP about, getting all those technical terms and understanding what the speaker is trying to say, and he gave a good recommendation and what were the commendable part of the speech. So kudos to him on that part. Now I have 2 recommendations for him. The first one is when you are called upon to read out the speech objective, you don't have to recite who the speaker is, what his profession is. You don't have to do that. For that, we already have Toastmaster of the day. So you just read out the speech objective and move ahead. And second thing is, while concluding, if you have some challenges that you want to give on to the speaker, that you can mention in it. So these two things you can apply onto your next evaluation. But overall, it was a really great evaluation. Coming to our third evaluator, Toastmaster Prasenjit, he also had the same approach where he talked about what was good in the speaker speech and how he can improve upon. But somehow I felt like most of the part, or maybe 30-20% part, he was saying that the speaker said this and the speaker said that. Maybe we can try avoiding on that part, and how you felt it was helpful for us, that you can add on. But overall, the evaluation was really great and critical. So kudos to him. Can we have a big round of applause for all our 3 evaluators? Now coming to our main role player, which is Toastmaster of the day. So we had a great theme today, and Toastmaster of the day was throughout engaging and on the energetic note. While she was talking about the theme, she was talking about the role players. What was really good about it, that at the end of every speech, she had something to say upon on every speaker or also evaluator. So this is something that unique in herself, which is like giving up the crux of every speech or evaluation that someone is talking on the stage. So kudos to her on that part. Now I have 2 recommendations for Toastmaster of the day. The number 1 being is that whenever speaker comes on the stage, it is our responsibility to address him and read out the speech title twice. Like for example, Toastmaster Aneesh, think before you buy, Toastmaster Aneesh. So this part I somehow felt was missed in today's meeting. So maybe we can work upon that part in the next meeting. And the second is that never leave the stage alone. So there should be always someone either on the virtual stage or on the physical stage. So it's our responsibility to never leave the stage alone. So make sure that either you or someone else is on the stage, and after that only you leave the stage, maybe after the handshake. So this we can work upon. Now few general recommendation for overall meeting and the XCOM as well. So as we can see today, we had projector inline and we did work on the voice part also, but still the board was not filled up. Reason being, our sergeant at arm was online. So I had instructed him, maybe you can get in touch with someone else and that person can fill up the board. As it's a norm that you have to have the board filled up, the role player's name should be there. And we should be following the norm. So that was missing today. So maybe we can work upon on that part. Second thing, this is for the role players mentor. So most of the new joiners might not be knowing, but for every role player, we have the mentors. So if we are having the mentors, make sure that you are getting in touch with your mentor for the role, or I would request the role player mentor to get in touch with the mentee who is playing the role for the very first time, or if it is the second time, just to make sure that we are having a proper meeting and the new role players knows what he or she has to do in that exact role. So these are the 2 general recommendations. I hope I forgot one, so I will go back to that. Our counter, so Toastmaster Pallavi was our counter for today's meeting. I believe this was her first time playing the our counter role. She noted down the filler words and filler sound used by the speakers. So I believe she forgot to talk about the role players, evaluators. The reason could be she was not well informed about this. So I would request the mentors to get in touch with your mentee whenever they are playing any role. So this is the general recommendation for overall team. Overall, the meeting was really great. We were able to manage each and everything. Because of some technical aspect, we faced some challenges, but the meeting went really well. The energy was really high in the meeting, and I today really enjoyed today's meeting and look forward to such more meetings. With that, I would like to give control back to our energetic Toastmaster of the day.
We are moving forward to a very exciting session of the meeting now. Zoom Master, are we ready with the votes? Okay. Great. Okay, all right. So we are ready with the voting. We are ready to begin with the voting session, and we'll be voting for the best speaker, the best evaluator, and of course, the role players as well. So if we are starting with that.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Now for offline mode, let's raise hands for the best role players, best auxiliary role players, best speaker, and best speaker and best evaluator. So I would request all of you to close your eyes. Yeah, thank you. And no cheating, please. Please close. Everybody, please close their eyes. Now I'll be reading every voting and the nominees for that. So for the best auxiliary role player, we have Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Kunal, Timer Toastmaster Nirjana, Counter Toastmaster Pallavi, and Grammarian Toastmaster Reshma. Can I please have votes for Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Kunal? Okay. Timer Toastmaster Nirjana. For Counter Toastmaster Pallavi. Okay. For Grammarian Toastmaster Reshma. Thank you very much. That concludes our best role auxiliary role player part. Now let's go for best role player. For best role player, we have nominees as Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Reshma, Toastmaster Nimisha, and General Evaluator, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar. So votes for Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Nimisha. And votes for General Evaluator, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar. Okay. For the best speaker, our nominees are Toastmaster Aneesh, Toastmaster Tulsi, and Toastmaster Akshay. So please cast your vote for Toastmaster Aneesh. Votes for Toastmaster Tulsi. A vote for Toastmaster Akshay. Now for best evaluator, we have Toastmaster Kunal, Toastmaster Nilesh, and Toastmaster Prasenjit. Votes for Toastmaster Kunal, please. Votes for Toastmaster Nilesh. And votes for Toastmaster Prasenjit. Excellent. So the voting for offline mode is concluded. Now I will go to the online mode to check the tally. So thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
So till the time that the votes have been counted for, there is one activity which I would like everyone to do in the offline mode. Sorry, I don't have anything for the online mode. So can we have one volunteer here? If anyone like to. Yes, Toastmaster Nilesh, please. So Toastmaster Nilesh, I would request you to please close your eyes for a minute. Thank you. Okay, Toastmaster Nilesh, you may open your eyes. Okay. So you have a task at hand. This is a circle. Here is your chalk. What you have to do is you have to close your eyes and put a dot exactly in the center of this circle. Okay? But you're not allowed to open your eyes. Okay? You can come here if you want to and then close your eyes. Oh, that was very close. Does anyone else? Okay, we'll add one more challenge to this now. Would anyone else also like to volunteer for this? We have our guest. Yes. So this is going to be slightly difficult for you. Just I would request you to close your eyes for a minute. Okay. I am going to turn you around now. Okay, twice. Yes. So I'm handing over the chalk to you now, and you have the same task at hand, that you have to make the point exactly at the center of the circle. Okay, thank you, Vikas, so much. So the point that I was trying to prove here was, when Toastmaster Nilesh tried it, he had a clear idea about where the circle is. He had a clear idea about where the board was, and he could very clearly see what was inside the circle and where he had to make the mark. When it came to our guest, Vikas, he had no idea about where the board is. He did not even see where the circle was, and he had trouble figuring out where exactly the board was placed. So the point that I'm trying to make here is, you cannot hit a target unless you see it. In the same way, when you don't know what your goal is, when you don't know what you want to achieve, there are very less chances, there's very less possibility that you will be able to achieve that goal, or you will be able to accomplish that goal. So thank you everyone for attending this. Over to you, Toastmaster Shantanu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimisha. So yeah, I'll cover the presiding officer address because Abhishek is traveling today. So what a wonderful meeting. I think it was one of the most energetic meetings I have ever attended. So kudos to Toastmaster Nimisha for picking up the nice theme of goals. So we had a very insightful session from DTM Beena, and I'm sure it will help all of us in the speech contest or the evaluation contest that is happening on the 18th of September. And a lot of great speeches. So we learned about the healthy living from Toastmaster Aneesh, then about IPO and the leadership styles, and of course, a very great evaluation, a very critical and helpful evaluation from Toastmasters General Evaluator Chandrasekhar. So on the announcement side, so there are a couple of things. So we need to submit the articles for newsletter. So you might have seen messages floating on the main group. So if you have anything to share for the newsletter, so you can just send out that article. You can respond to the announcement on the main group. Then also, as I said, there is a contest coming. So there is an evaluation contest and humorous speech contest coming on the 18th of September. So if you have received my email, you can respond to the email if you want to participate. And third thing is there are renewals around the corner. So it's just the small thing. It's like spending for a coffee, but what you get out of it in the Toastmasters is a whole lot of things. It can change your life. So the renewals are around the corner. So you can look out for the renewal announcement on the main group and go ahead with the renewals. So the takeaway for this current meeting about goals, right? So I would like to ask everyone, what are your takeaways from this meeting? So I would tell my takeaways. So whenever we want to achieve any goals, we need to write down your goals first, and we need to create a plan to achieve those goals and make a little progress on that every day. Unless you have a plan in place, you won't make any progress on your goals. So with that, I would like to ask first our guest how they liked our meeting, and if anyone wants to share their goals. I see Prasenjit turned on his video, so I assume he want to share something with all of us. Anyone want to share what is the takeaway from today's meeting?
Shantanu, we do have a guest in a physical location, so I would request him to share his
Okay,
view.
perfect. Yeah, please come forward and share your opinion about the meeting and what was your learning today.
Just give us 30 seconds.
Sure.
Hi all, I'm Vikas and I'm joining this as this is my first lecture as a guest. So this is it was a quite good experience. So uh, like I would like to join for next one also. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other guests want to share the feedback?
We don't have guests, but we have our first timer. So it is his first meeting as a Toastmaster. So I would request Toastmaster Nitin to come on the stage and share his views. How did he find today's meeting?
Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. So yeah, I feel that today's session was was wonderful, energetic, full of new ideas through all the speakers have shared. So it was overall a very good session. So thank you.
Thank you. And anyone else online? I see few people on the. Okay, I see.
Hello, everybody. I'm Varinder,
Yeah.
and I learned a few things out of the session, today's session. All the three speakers did a wonderful job, and they used very nice examples, and especially the third one. I loved his examples of that cricket, and they were just correlating exactly with the topic. So I would like to congratulate him for that. And he really picked up the in a very sequential way. He drived us to the topic, and we were all glued. What will be the next and all. So and even the IPO, I learned a lot. It was very informative. I would say it was more of informative. Yes, and somebody gave her the input that you need to use the stage. Yes, that was very true. So and more of smile coming on the face and more of expressions. Okay, but overall it was very, very nice. And the first speaker, yes, he started off I think in a very story format. So that clicked me a lot. I mean, the way he did all that was wonderful. And then he ended at a very good note that he gave us eat how the kind of things are available. So he made us think what we eat. So overall, I have a lot of takeaways, so I can't give all in one, but I congratulate all three of them, and even the evaluators. They did a wonderful job. So thank you, and looking forward to meet you again. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you for the wonderful feedback. Yeah, definitely. Anyone else would like to talk? I see Deep. And Akash. Okay, no problem. Just raise your hand if anyone wants to talk. So now comes the important part. So what is the voting result? So let me quickly share my screen. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay. Right, so the movement of glory part. So the first award for best auxiliary role player. So it goes to Toastmaster Nirjara. Thank you, Toastmaster Nirjara. Let's have a round of applause for Toastmaster Nirjara.
Toastmaster Shantanu, let us just take a photo in. So yeah, you can wait.
Sure, I'll pause.
Yeah, you just stand there. Toastmaster Mayur, can you take the photo?
Moving next, the best role player award. So the best role player award goes to, any guesses?
There was only one, I guess.
VP Education, Shantanu.
Okay. So the best role player award goes to Toastmaster Nimisha. Thank you, Toastmaster Nimisha, for having a wonderful meeting today.
Just a minute. Yeah, you may go ahead, Shantanu.
Moving on, the best evaluator. So we had wonderful evaluators today, and the best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Nilesh.
Yeah.
And last but not least, best speaker award. So the best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Aneesh. Let's have a big round of applause for all the winners. Okay, he left?
Yeah, he's there. Just a minute.
Okay.
You may continue, Shantanu.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for attending today's meeting. Thank you all the guests, and see you next time. So I adjourn the meeting now. You can continue with the informal chit chat.
I think we should take a group photo.
Sure. We'll take a group photo. So yeah, just stand by for a moment.
Just a minute.
Can you all please turn on your videos if possible?
I
Have a
would
group
request
photo.
everyone to come on stage. Yeah.
I can take this screenshot if there are some people left behind. So I don't see Mayuresh.
Yes, Shantanu, just a minute. Just do let me know once you have taken the screenshot.
Okay, done.
Yeah, sure. Just a minute. Let us click photo also.
Yeah.
Mayuresh, you were taking photo? Yeah, Mayuresh. Yeah. I think I'm in selfie, so that would go on my highlight.
Okay, thank you everyone. I adjourn the meeting now. Bye. See you next week.
Bye, Shantanu.